Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday, August the 17th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, Afghanistan is going to be on the news here for quite some time. It will be the front page story, I think, for several days. And the main reason is that the story is still unfolding. I mean, there are still Americans in Afghanistan who are there, not just the soldiers, but the people who are still there that we're trying to get out, as well as some of our allies and so on the ground. So it's going to be around for a while, and let's just hope for the best, but let's also realize that some things could be very ugly in Afghanistan because we're not dealing with rational people when you're dealing with the Taliban. But I want to talk a little bit about President Biden's speech. First of all, let me just cut him a little slack, be fair with President Biden. It is very difficult to give a speech like this. I remember when President Carter addressed the nation back in April of 1980, and he was talking back then about the attempt to rescue the hostages and the failure of that attempt. Some of you may remember this. We had some problems with helicopters, and a couple of helicopters crashed 30 or 40 miles away from their destination, and we had to call off the mission, and the whole thing became a disaster for President Carter. But he went on national television quickly, addressed the nation. He addressed the nation from the Oval Office. He dealt with it, and I think he deserves credit for that. But look at the way President Biden did it. First of all, he didn't say anything for several days. Then he comes back to Washington, gives a speech, and then he gets back on the helicopter and goes back on vacation. I mean, that's just utterly ridiculous. First of all, he should have addressed the country from the Oval Office. That is the most presidential place for a president to speak. I mean, he wasn't just reading a statement here. He was addressing the nation. So the Oval Office is the place to do that from. He didn't. He gave a speech, read a statement really, and then he went back to vacation. I think that was a mistake right there. And then he was talking about the plan that he inherited and all this kind of stuff. Look, he inherited a lot of things from President Trump. That's what usually happens. When you become president and you replace the other person, you inherit some things. But there was no need to mention that because he was taking a shot at President Trump. I know what he was trying to do, but it's not fair because President Trump did not do what he did. So that was bad right there to bring President Trump into the conversation. Secondly, to start talking about the history of the war didn't make any sense. Everybody knows the history of the war. So what he should have said is, look, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. I'm responsible for that. And here's what we're going to do to protect the American people who are there, and so on. He should have focused the speech in that direction rather than spend so much time about, what happened 20 years ago or 10 years ago. Everybody knows the story of Afghanistan. At least I do. We went there after 9/11. We had a good reason to go there. We probably stayed a little bit too long, but that doesn't mean that you pull your troops out the way we did. It's just not the right way to do it. So I think overall it was a bad speech. I think the reaction in the country was negative to the speech. And you really have to wonder right now, where does this presidency go? He's had a very bad turn of events here. The border, the inflation, and now Afghanistan. I mean, where does this guy go? I don't know, but he's got a lot of problems ahead of him. And I think a lot of Democrats are starting to realize that. Thank you for watching. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.